As the days turned into weeks, it became clear that Bisa had an extraordinary condition. She farted incessantly, and as she grew older, the frequency increased. By the time she was 5, she was farting 100 times a day. At 10, it was 1,000. And by her 15th birthday, Bisa was farting 10,000 times a day. The village elders were baffled, and many whispered that she was cursed. Bisa's parents were heartbroken, but did their best to make life as normal as possible for their daughter. In a small village nestled among the lush hills of Igboland, there lived a young girl named Bisa. The village, known as Enunna, was rich with traditions, culture, and folklore. The villagers believed in the power of the gods, the wisdom of their ancestors, and the enchantment of their land. Bisa was a beautiful girl, with skin the color of rich mahogany and eyes that sparkled like the evening stars. Her laughter was like the tinkling of a bell, and her smile could light up the darkest night. However, Bisa had a peculiar problem that set her apart from the other girls in the village. She farted 10,000 times a day. This condition, which began when she was just a child, had been the subject of many whispers and superstitions among the villagers. Some said it was a curse placed upon her family by a jealous spirit, while others believed it was the result of a powerful but poorly performed ritual. Her parents, both humble farmers, had tried everything to rid her of this affliction. They had visited medicine men, consulted herbalists, and even prayed at the shrine of Allah, the earth goddess. But nothing seemed to work. Bisa's condition made her an outcast. No one wanted to be near her, fearing that the curse might be contagious. Her friends abandoned her, and the boys who once admired her beauty now ran away from her. Bisa's dream was to marry a handsome young man and live a happy life, but it seemed impossible. The village boys mocked her, and the young men from neighboring villages avoided her. The more she dreamt of love and companionship, the more distant it seemed. One day, Bisa's mother, Adaolisa, decided to seek the help of an old wise woman named Xochikaima, who lived deep in the forest. Xochikaima was known for her wisdom and her ability to communicate with the spirits. It was said that she could see into the future and unravel the mysteries of the past. With a heavy heart and a determined spirit, Adaolisa set out on the journey to find Xochikaima, hoping that she could provide a solution to her daughter's predicament. The path to Xochikaima's hut was long and treacherous, winding through dense forests and across swift rivers. Adaolisa carried a basket filled with offerings, kola nuts, alligator pepper, and a white cockerel. She walked for hours, her feet sore and her body weary, but her love for her daughter kept her going. As she approached Xochikaima's hut, she felt a sense of foreboding. The air was thick with the scent of herbs and incense, and the sound of distant drumming filled her ears. Xochikaima welcomed Adaolisa with a knowing smile. Her eyes, sharp and penetrating, seemed to see right through her. Adaolisa bowed respectfully and presented her offerings. "Xochikaima, wise mother, I come to you with a heavy heart," Adaolisa began. "My daughter Bisa is afflicted with a terrible curse. She farts 10,000 times a day, and because of this no one will marry her. I have tried everything, but nothing has worked. Please help us." Xochikaima nodded thoughtfully and motioned for Adaolisa to sit. She took the offerings and placed them on a small altar, muttering incantations under her breath. After a few moments of silence, she spoke. "The spirits have spoken to me," Xochikaima said. "Bisa's condition is indeed a curse, but it is not one that can be easily lifted. it was placed upon her by a powerful spirit, angered by an offense committed by your ancestors. However, there is hope. Bisa must embark on a journey of self-discovery and redemption. She must seek the spirit who cursed her and make amends. Only then will she be free. When Adaolisa returned to Enuna and told Bisa of Xochicaima's words, Bisa felt a mix of fear and determination. She had always dreamt of breaking free from her curse, and now she had a chance. The journey would be dangerous, but she knew she had to do it. With the blessings of her parents and the guidance of Xochicaima's words, Bisa prepared for her quest. The villagers watched in silence as Bisa set off into the forest. She carried a small bag filled with provisions, yam, dried fish, and a calabash of water. She also took a charm given to her by Xochicaima, a small amulet made of cowrie shells and eagle feathers. Bisa's heart pounded with fear and excitement as she walked deeper into the forest, the familiar sights and sounds of her village fading behind her. For days, Bisa traveled through the forest, guided by the whispers of the wind and the rustling of the leaves. She encountered many challenges: wild animals, treacherous paths, and harsh weather. But she pressed on, driven by the hope of breaking her curse. Along the way, she met a variety of characters: a mischievous monkey who stole her provisions, a wise old tortoise who gave her advice, and a kind-hearted hunter who provided her with food and shelter for a night. One evening, as Bisa rested by a river bank, she had a strange dream. In her dream, Bisa found herself standing at the edge of a vast, dark forest. The trees towered over her, their branches intertwining to form an almost impenetrable canopy. A thick mist hung in the air, obscuring her vision. She heard the faint sound of laughter, like the echo of a distant memory. As she took a hesitant step forward, the mist began to clear, revealing a path lined with glowing stones. Bisa followed the path, her heart pounding with anticipation. The glowing stones cast an eerie light, illuminating the way ahead. As she walked, she noticed that the laughter grew louder and more distinct. It was a familiar sound, one that filled her with a sense of both comfort and fear. The path led her to a clearing, where she saw a figure standing in the center. The figure was a woman, her hair cascading down her back like a waterfall of black silk. She wore a flowing white dress that seemed to shimmer in the moonlight. Her face was obscured by a veil, but Bisa could sense her presence, powerful and otherworldly. The woman raised her hand, beckoning Bisa to come closer. "Who are you?" Bisa asked, her voice trembling. The woman did not respond. Instead, she lifted her veil, revealing a face that was both beautiful and haunting. Her eyes glowed with an ethereal light, and her smile was both kind and sad. "I am Ala, the earth goddess," the woman said, her voice echoing through the clearing. "I have been watching over you, Bisa. Your journey is far from over, but you have shown great courage and determination. I am here to guide you." Bisa fell to her knees, overwhelmed by the presence of the goddess. "Please, Allah, tell me how I can break this curse. I will do anything." Allah's expression softened. "The curse was placed upon you by a spirit who was wronged by your ancestors. To break it, you must seek out this spirit and offer restitution. But be warned, the journey will not be easy. You will face many trials, and you must be prepared to make great sacrifices." With those words, Allah reached into the folds of her dress and pulled out a small, intricately carved wooden box. She handed it to Bisa, who accepted it with trembling hands. "This box contains the key to your redemption," Allah said. "Guard it well, and use it wisely. Remember, Bisa, the power to break the curse lies within you. Trust in yourself and the guidance of the spirits. Before Bisa could respond, the dream began to fade. She felt herself being pulled back to reality, the clearing and the goddess dissolving into darkness. Bisa awoke with a start, the memory of the dream fresh in her mind. She clutched the wooden box tightly, feeling its weight in her hands. Determined to follow Allah's guidance, she continued her journey, her resolve stronger than ever. As she ventured deeper into the forest, Bisa encountered a series of trials designed to test her courage, wisdom, and compassion. The first trial came in the form of a raging river that blocked her path. The current was strong and the water was icy cold. Bisa hesitated, unsure of how to cross. Remembering the wise tortoise's advice, she looked around for a solution. She noticed a fallen tree nearby, its branches reaching out towards the riverbank. With great effort, she managed to push the tree into the water, creating a makeshift bridge. Carefully, she crossed the river, her heart pounding with each step. The second trial involved a confrontation with a fearsome creature. As Bisa made her way through a dense thicket, she heard a low growl. She turned to see a massive leopard, its eyes glowing with a predatory gleam. Bisa's heart raced, but she remembered the hunter's words, "Show no fear, and the wild will respect you." Summoning all her courage, Bisa stood her ground and stared into the leopard's eyes. To her astonishment, the leopard slowly backed away, disappearing into the forest. The third trial tested Bisa's compassion. She came across a village that had been ravaged by a terrible drought. The villagers were weak and hungry, their crops withered and their animals dying. Bisa knew she could not continue her journey without helping them. She shared her provisions and used her knowledge of herbs to tend to their wounds. Grateful for her kindness, the villagers blessed her and offered her guidance on her journey. After many days of travel and numerous trials, Bisa finally arrived at the entrance to the spirit's realm. The air was thick with magic, and the ground seemed to pulse with energy. She opened the wooden box Allah had given her and found a small glowing orb inside. The orb illuminated the path ahead, leading her to a grand, ancient tree that stood at the center of the realm. As Bisa approached the tree, she felt a powerful presence watching her. She knelt before the tree and spoke with a steady voice. "Spirit of the ancestors, I come seeking your forgiveness and guidance. I am Bisa, and I bear the curse placed upon my family. Please, show me how I can make amends." The air around her shimmered, and a figure materialized before her. It was the spirit who had cursed her ancestors, a majestic being with eyes that glowed like embers, and a voice that resonated with the power of the earth itself. "Your ancestors wronged me," the spirit said, its voice filled with ancient sorrow. "They desecrated my sacred grove and stole the treasures of the earth. For their transgressions, I placed this curse upon your family." Bisa bowed her head in respect. "I understand, Great Spirit. I am here to atone for their sins. Please, tell me what I must do to lift this curse." The spirit regarded her with a mix of anger and curiosity. "To atone, you must restore what was taken and heal the land that was harmed. You must return the stolen treasures and perform a ritual of purification. Only then will the curse be lifted." With the spirit's guidance, Bisa set out to find the stolen treasures. The spirit revealed that the treasures were hidden in the ruins of an ancient temple deep within the forest. Determined to complete her mission, Bisa navigated the treacherous terrain, and finally arrived at the temple. The ruins were overgrown with vines, and the air was thick with the scent of decay. Inside the temple, Bisa found the treasures, a collection of sacred artifacts that glowed with an otherworldly light. She carefully gathered them and made her way back to the spirit's realm. There, she performed the ritual of purification as instructed by the spirit. She placed the artifacts at the base of the ancient tree and recited the incantations taught to her by Xochikaima. As she completed the ritual, a powerful energy surged through the air. The ground trembled, and the tree's branches glowed with a brilliant light. The spirit appeared before her once more, its eyes filled with a sense of peace. "You have done well, Bisa," the spirit said. "The land is healed, and the treasures are restored. The curse is lifted, and your family is redeemed. You have proven yourself to be brave, compassionate, and wise." Tears of relief and joy filled Bisa's eyes. "Thank you, Great Spirit. I am forever grateful." With the curse lifted, Bisa made her way back to Inuna. The journey home was filled with a sense of accomplishment and hope. She had faced many challenges and emerged stronger and wiser. As she approached her village, she was greeted with cheers and celebrations. The villagers who had once shunned her now welcomed her with open arms. Bisa's parents were overjoyed to see their daughter return, free from the curse that had plagued her for so long. The village elders praised her bravery and determination, and the young men who had once avoided her now looked at her with admiration. In time, Bisa's dream of finding love and companionship came true. She met a kind and handsome young man named Yadara, who had heard of her remarkable journey and was captivated by her spirit. They fell in love and were soon married in a joyous ceremony attended by the entire village. Bisa's story became a legend in Inuna, a tale of courage, redemption, and the power of the human spirit. She lived a long and happy life, surrounded by the love of her family and the respect of her community. And though the memory of her affliction faded with time, the lessons she learned and the strength she gained remained with her always. Years passed, and Bisa's tale was told and retold by the villagers of Inuna. Her journey became a source of inspiration for young and old alike. Parents would tell their children about Bisa's bravery and determination, encouraging them to face their own challenges with the same spirit. Bisa herself never forgot the lessons she learned during her journey. She became a wise and compassionate leader in her village, always ready to help those in need and to offer guidance to anyone seeking it. She continued to honor the spirits and the earth, teaching her children and grandchildren the importance of respecting the natural world and the power of redemption. The bond between Bisa and Yadera grew stronger with each passing year. They raised a family together, instilling in their children the values of courage, compassion, and resilience. Their home was a place of warmth and love, filled with laughter and the joy of life. Bisa's journey also had a lasting impact on the village of Inuna. The villagers became more mindful of their actions and their impact on the land. They honored the spirits and their ancestors, ensuring that the mistakes of the past were not repeated. The village prospered, its people living in harmony with the natural world and with each other. As Bisa grew older, she often reflected on her journey and the trials she faced. She felt a deep sense of gratitude for the experiences that had shaped her and for the people who had supported her along the way. She knew that her story was not just her own, but a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the power of redemption. In her final days, Bisa gathered her family around her and shared with them the wisdom she had gained. She spoke of the importance of facing challenges with courage, of the power of compassion and kindness, and of the enduring strength of love and community. Her family listened with reverence, knowing that they were receiving the legacy of a remarkable woman. When Bisa passed away, the village of Enuna mourned the loss of their beloved leader and storyteller. They held a grand ceremony to honor her memory, celebrating her life and the impact she had on their community. Her spirit, they believed, would continue to watch over them, guiding and protecting them as they carried forward her legacy. And so, the story of Bisa, the girl who farted 10,000 times a day, became a legend in Igboland. It was a story of transformation and redemption, of the power of the human spirit to overcome even the most daunting challenges. It was a story that reminded the people of Enuna that no matter how difficult the journey, there is always hope. And with determination and courage, any obstacle can be overcome. The story of Bisa teaches us that true strength lies in our ability to face and overcome the challenges life presents, no matter how daunting they may seem. It reminds us that compassion, courage, and determination can lead us to redemption and healing. Moreover, it emphasizes the importance of seeking forgiveness and making amends for the wrongs of the past, showing that with perseverance and the support of loved ones. Ultimately, Bisa's journey illustrates that our greatest trials can become the foundations of our most profound growth and resilience.